So I think we have more say now in what we watch and how we spend our money and how we support. So I don't know. I wonder what the reception would be now, right, as opposed to back then.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I think there was more fear back then.
Yeah.
And there's less fear now.
Yeah. Yeah, brown people be more woke. The younger generation.
I really hate that statement. But
Well,
that's
yeah, I know. That's a whole other. Yeah, that and yeah, because we're going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just reminded me of. I mean, not just to focus on that one movie. You're talking about sort of movies that irk you.
Yeah.
I don't know. You specified what kind of movies. This has to do with like.
No, it's not the sort of movie that irked me. It's just I think I was just very cynical and just very annoyed overall about feeling powerless to support, or feeling powerless as to be dependent on white support to succeed. And so I think that's what annoyed me at the time. It wasn't so much that it's a specific type of movie, because I own Bend It Like Beckham and I own Real Women Have Curves. So obviously I liked the movies. It was just more this idea like it was geared towards one specific audience, and I was very much aware that I was not that audience, right? And so that in order to go see it, I had to go all the way to Evanston, to Cine Arts, to this very small section of the bigger theater that put out indie films in a very white neighborhood.
It's a suburb.
Yeah. Oh, Evanston's a suburb of Illinois, like right next to Chicago. So what I'm saying is that, like you said, that the delivery wasn't available, right? I couldn't go to Cicero to see it. I couldn't go to Western and Diversity now to see it. So it was very niched, and I felt like I was only there because that's a whole nother story, but because of my white boyfriend, or at the time boyfriend, right? So I had the opportunity to experience that, not because I had the resources to get there myself, but because a white man was opening these resources for me. So I think that was the cynicism behind my annoyance of that kind of movie at the time.
I mean, that just reminds me, you talking about the success of this movie was dependent on white support.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of other movies, like with brown or black characters. They're again dependent. The fictional characters are dependent on the support of the white protagonist, specifically like white savior, what I consider white savior movies. And we're having a conversation with this white boyfriend of yours. I don't know how.
Well, he's now my husband,
yes,
so he's no longer my white boyfriend.
Her white husband.
My white husband.
I was talking about movies that annoy me, and he was making the argument that, for example, I forgot what was the movie that I started saying that I found annoying. And by the way, not all Latinos find, or I think that specific movie is a white savior movie.
Yeah, I think we have different.
Right, like The Big Short. I don't know if I started talking about The Big Short, which I hate, and this one loves.
I love The Big Short.
And
I feel like I will have a chance to defend this love of
The
Big Short.
Yes, I'm sure you will. And I never forgot what the argument was, why I hated it. Maybe I think I was making the argument that it was, I don't know, people were, I don't know, condescending, or I just thought they were terrible people, but they were supposed to be the good guys.
Like what movie? Was I in this conversation?
The Big Short.
Oh, of The Big Short.
Yeah, The Big Short.
Okay, continue.
And then you said something about, no, they're not supposed to be.
They're not. They're like the awful people. You're meant to hate them. They're all assholes. Like, they're not good people.
But where did you gather that they're supposed to be the assholes? Because I got the impression, these are the good guys. These are the rebels. These are the...
No, they're totally... I mean, I feel like... I told you to watch it again, so that I don't know if you did. But like, the movie starts off by saying, like, even Ryan Gosling's character's like, I'm not the good guy. Like, I'm not the hero of this. Like, and then he... throughout the entire time... There's absolutely nothing appealing about the characters. They're endearing. You're not supposed to find them to be the good guys. Like, these characters found a way to make money out of a horrible situation. And I think Brad Pitt's character is kind of like, he's like this...
Brad Pitt's in that?
Yeah. Oh my God. You need to rewatch this. See, I can't work under these conditions. Glasses, right? Yes. Yeah. It was like Brad Pitt is like the conscious... of like the two characters there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the good guy. He's like the conscious, like saying like right now is not the time to be celebrating. Like, are you sure you want to get your hands dirty? Are you sure you want to go to the dark side? Like, and the guys are really happy in like Vegas when they're like about to make a bunch of money off of this horrible situation. And then they even say like they feel dirty. They feel like they're part of the problem, and they are, right? Why I liked the movie wasn't because of the characters per se. I mean, it was beautifully acted and it was funny and whatever. But I liked the movie because as someone who enjoys, who is a who wished was a financial advisor in another life, and who enjoys learning about finance and the ins and outs of it, and even though that does not mean I have my shit together at all, I just do like it. And so I thought the delivery of it was well done. It explained something that affected millions of people that didn't even know how they were affected. They just felt the effects, right? Like that scene where they're doing the checking in the Florida like compound, and they knock on the door, and there's this brown family being told that the house is like
being foreclosed.
Yeah, and they're like, but I've been paying my rent, like we just settled here. And so those were the people that got the shit kicked out of them, right? And the movie isn't about those people. The movie is about explaining the phenomenon that caused those people and the greed. And so it does a really good job at showing that greed and the dirtiness of it and the assholeness of it. So that's why I liked it. Not because the white people saved the day, because they didn't. They just fucking made a shitload of money. That's all they did. That's not what that wasn't the message of the movie. I think the message of the movie was, this is how you just got fucked. Like, that was it. This is how we fucked you, and you didn't even know it.
That could be a good thing, though.
It could be not in this case. In this case, it was not enjoyable for millions of people. For actually everyone in the U.S. who ended up paying for it. So,
but then how do we start what brought up the conversation about? I don't know if it was your husband,
my husband,
who said
his name's Jonah.
Okay, I don't know.
Can we call him Jonah?
Okay, can we call him Jonah?
Jonah.
We'll call him Jonah.
That's his name.
Yes, that's actually his name. His name is Jonah. I was talking about, and then that triggered the conversation about, again, these white savior movies. And then he was making the argument, but it's based on a true story. Don't knock the movie because producers in Hollywood are choosing to produce those. And so that was my annoyance. It's like, why?
Yeah, I kind of get that annoyance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's annoying.
Oh, so I thought you were also agreeing with him because...
No, I was defending The Big Short. That was my thing. Like, I wasn't... I don't remember the rest of this conversation. But I agree, like...
And then we're talking about, I think you mentioned the one with Sandra Bullock.
The Blind
Side. The Blind Side. Yeah. And I'm like, so he was making the argument.
That's an awful movie.
I've seen bits of it.
You've never seen the whole thing?
Not the whole thing, but I think I get the gist of it.
It was really bad.
I think I get the gist of it. So bringing it back to why is it that white people really love Lady Bird, or is it that they have, or the producers of this movie, they have, like I said, more access to, it's not depending on somebody else for the success of this movie, so that they have wider, and the movie has more access to get more audience.
Also, can I add that there's a dimension of Real Women Have Curves that would have been a big hit right now, because this whole idea of body positivity, and that movement of the body positive movement, and that was very much an earlier message that the movie delivered, right? To can you imagine the impact? I got to see it because of Jonah, but I want to imagine if like it came out now, like it being shown in schools, in elementary school, it might be a little too 8th grade at least, right? And like it would have been so freeing and so, because Marica Ferrera's fierce as fuck in that movie. She's like showing everything of her body as a fat brown girl. I don't think at that age I had the nerves to, I don't know. I just felt like it's very impactful. And so that whole aspect with it, even somebody, let's start a GoFundMe campaign to like start showing this movie at high schools and elementary schools. Somebody do it. I'll donate money.
Okay.
Okay.
How do I follow that? I don't have a call to action.
Oh, that's my call to action.
Yeah.
Continue. You were talking. Sorry.
Well, I forgot what I was talking about. Once again.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It came into my head and I wanted to.
But it just reminded me also another similarity. Because both movies are coming of age. Mm-hmm. And America Ferrera's character also loses her virginity in that one. And in Lady Bird, she did the same thing. Although it begs the question, I wonder if Greta Gerwig was familiar with Real Women Have Curves.
How could she not be?
It was an indie movie, and she's our age, so she must have been 19, 20, so I don't know how into film she was at that time.
Somebody call her.
Yes,
doctor.
Please.
Yet another call to action. Let us know in the comments. Oh wait, we don't have comments.
No, we disabled them for a
reason. We don't like people commenting on stuff.
Views are good, but
views are good. Commenting, we don't have thick skin like that.
We used to see Mexican guilt upbringing and being criticized. No,
had enough of that.
Yeah.
Birth through 18.
Yeah. We get the live version. Like instead of reading the comment, we get your mom telling you right then
Phone
and there.
Call.
Yeah. ¿Te vas a poner eso?
¿Vas a poner eso en Facebook?
Yeah. What happened to your face? is one. It's a common one. What happened to your face?
What happened to your face? Yeah. Es más gordito.
Yeah. Oh. Did you put on some weight?
No. That's sad. All right. Should we wrap this up? We got 22 minutes. Was there another topic that you wanted to touch base on?
I think at this point
it's good.
It's pretty long.
All right.
But definitely go see the movie.
Wait, Lady Bird or Real Women Have Curves?
Listen,
Lady
Bird has had already a lot of promotion.
It's on Amazon. It's like
Lady Bird?
No, Real Women Have Curves. It's like $3 or $9 to buy, $10 to buy. Buy it, check it out, and make up your own mind. And also try and think of it as a pioneer in terms of presenting brown bodies as free and shame-free sexuality, which brown girls struggle with. I think because of our Mom Guild religious upbringing, that could be something that's really hard to free yourself from, right? And just a lot of good stuff in there. So watch it and
form your own opinions.
Yeah, and share it with those you love, especially a brown chubby girl, because it's nice. It's real nice. All right.
Signing
off. Bye.